loose.
Well, fellas, we roped and tied the calf within a second of the world's record time.
You're dead right, Shorty. My watch tells me the same thing.
How'd I do?
You break the news to him, Shorty. John wouldn't believe me on a bet.
Son, you come within 1 second of the world's record time.
Oh, cut it out. Come on now. How bad was it?
Honest, John, on the level. Why, you ought to be a cinch to win the Cheyenne Rodeo.
Gee, that's great if you really mean it. I didn't think it was even close to winning time. You guys aren't kidding me, are you?
My watch clocks the same time.
Well, let's get a steer out and see what I can do with that.
Come on.
Let him go!
Great time. Sure enough, boy. Say, John, the time you just made in that bulldogging will make you the winner in 9 out of 10 events. Say, you were just a little bit short of the winners of the champions time last year.
I'll bet my last month's wages you'll be the new champion before the Cheyenne Rodeo is over.
Gee, I'd sure like to win a championship just to see how it feels. And if I do win, I'll pay everybody's expenses from the ranch that goes.
Great. And I got a little blondie in Cheyenne.
Oh, forget the blonde. Let's get a bucking horse out and see if I can stay on him a couple of jumps.
Come on, lad, come on.
Good morning, Sam. Here's a letter for you.
Good morning, Clem.
How's the foot this morning?
Oh, it's coming along first rate. Doctor says in another month I'll be as good as new.
Yes, well, I'm glad to hear that. Pretty bad break, wasn't it? Well, I got hurry along.
Thanks, Clem. Remember me to the missus.
Yes, I will.
Hey, Chubby. Will you drop down to the corral and tell John I want to see him, please?
I sure will.
All right,
Hey,
boy,
John.
go get him now.
Your dad wants to see you up at the house. Hold it a minute, boys. I'll go up and see what he wants. Take a walk, Shorty?
Sure.
I'll be right back, Shorty. What's up, Dad?
Say, John, you know Hank Mason, my old friend that lives over in Pequeno Valley?
Sure, why?
Seems he's in some kind of trouble. His letter asks for you to come over and lend him a hand. He doesn't say what it's all about.
Oh.
If you haven't anything planned for the next couple of weeks, I'd be very happy if you'd go. Hank Mason's the best friend I ever had.
Sure, Dad. I'll go. I'll get ready and leave right away.
Fine.
Hey, you can't do that. We got to go to Cheyenne. Think of the good time, boy. And besides, you're a cinch to be champion of the rodeo.
What's a rodeo to me if it interferes with his happiness? You better tell the boys to forget about it.
Off your guns up, Lawrence, sit them down high. There'll be blood a-running in town before night. There'll be guns a-blazing and singing with lead. Tonight you'll be drinking your drinks with the dead. A cowboy sang his song of the dead. and his guns were empty of poison lead. For his gal rode close to his side.
Come on. Drop that. Put him up. Take care of him, boys. Trying to double-cross your pals, eh?
Oh, no, I was
Hey,
trying
you stay there for the trial. Go on, lock him up.
Oh, wait a minute.
Go on, get going, lock him up. What happened, Bert?
Why, they surprised me and cleaned me out. I guess that big guy must have been the lookout.
I'll take care of him.
All right, Marshal.
All right, get in there. You two. Wait a minute. I want to talk to that man.
Tell you, Marshal, I didn't have anything to do with this holdup. I was only trying to stop it.
Sit down. I know you didn't have anything to do with it, son. I saw the whole thing.
And what'd you arrest me for?
Because I thought I could use you. Are you working?
No, I'm not.
How'd you like a job?
Well, I could use one, all right. But right now I'm on my way to Pequeno Valley. See Hank Mason. He sent for me.
That's great. Because Pequeno Valley is what I'm sending you to. And Hank Mason's the reason. He's disappeared.
Disappeared? Well, I got a letter from old Hank a couple of weeks ago saying he needed help. But he didn't say why. Hank's an old friend of my dad's. I haven't seen him since I was a kid. But I figured he was in trouble when he sent for me.
That won't help much. But maybe you can. See, there's been a lot of mysterious things happening up the valley. Cattle raids, barns burned, supplies destroyed. A general reign of terror that seems destined to drive those people out of there. It's all happened the last few weeks. I headed a posse in there, but couldn't get hide nor hair of the gang that's doing it. They seem to have advanced information on our plans. We couldn't accomplish anything. That's why I picked you. You're not known there, and you can work undercover.
Well, what'd you arrest me for?
Well, if any of the gang recognized you, I want them to think that you were a wanted man. See, I'll turn you loose tonight and say you escaped. I'll get out a reward notice on you. Oh, by the way, what's your name?
John Middleton.
Oh, that won't do. We'll make it John Allen. Do you want the job?
Well, I made a lot of quick changes in my life, but this is the first time from a jailbird to a star packer. However, I gotta find old Hank, and I might as well get paid for it. I'll take it.
That's fine. Here's your badge and your credentials. Stand up. Raise your right hand. You solemnly swear that you...
Stop where you are. It ain't healthy for strangers around this part of the country, so you can just head back the way you came. Now get going. If we didn't hit him, he's swimming underwater. Let's circle the lake and pick him up.
Turn around with your hands in the air. That's far enough. Now you can just head back the way you came. You and the rest of your gang know enough to stay off this ranch.
Wait a minute, I'm
Don't stall. Go back and tell Butch Martin that the next man he sends to this ranch will be shot.
Well, who's Butch Martin?
I said go before I shoot.
I can't go back there. There's a gang after me. Have you any more cartridges?
No.
Well, you better get on your horse and start moving.
Well, what about you?
Oh, we couldn't get away riding double. So you ride in to tell them for help. I'll hold them off as long as I can.
It's the posse. Let the posse take care of him. We'll head for the hideout.
Bring the nails.
You recognize him, Lee? Never seen him before. I guess he's one of Butch Martin's gang, all right. We'll take him to town and hold him for the marshal.
Now, wait a minute, man. You're making mistakes.
We'll find out about that later. Come on.
Who's this you've got here, Emmett?
He's one of Butch Martin's gang. We caught him while he was raiding the Mason Ranch. We're holding him for the marshal.
You're making a big mistake, Emmett, not stringing him up right away.
Oh, what are you
Shut up! We've no place in the town to hold him. The Martin gang may stage a raid to set him free. It's about time we show them we mean business. We won't act yet.
Get in there.
Hurry up! is no place for you.
But you're making a mistake. You've got the wrong man.
I say stay out of this. We know what we're doing.
Carter, you've got to listen to me.
Wait a minute, man. Well, Miss Mason, what is it?
This man hasn't done anything. He was holding off the Martin gang when they made the attack.
Well, that's different. Why didn't you tell us that before?
You didn't give me a chance to.
I'm sorry. I guess we were a bit hasty. I'm Carter, the banker. This is Emmett, our local storekeeper.
My name's Middleton. You fellas are through with your little necktie party. Why, I'll be on my way.
We're sorry, Middleton. I guess
boys.
I want to thank you, Miss...
Miss Mason. Ann Mason.
Well, you aren't related to Hank Mason, are you?
Yes, he's my uncle. Why do you ask?
Well, he sent for me. I was on my way here when I learned that he was missing. I certainly had a warm welcome here.
It's mighty nice of you to help me after the way I welcomed you. Won't you come out to the ranch and meet my aunt?
Well, thanks, Miss Mason. That's very nice of you.
On the banks of the sunny San Juan, watching the river roll on, wondering if it will reach the sea, wondering where my old pal can be at the foot of this old western slope. I've furnished a cabin with hope. All that's left of my schemes is to sit with my dreams on the banks of the sunny San Juan. Roll on, dear old river, roll on. Carry this message to her. Tell her I'm lonesome, forlorn and blue, that I am sending my love by you at the foot of this old western slope. I'm waiting and longing with hope that someday I will see her come drifting to me on your way, dear old sunny San Juan.
That was beautiful.
Thank you. Miss Mason, how did your uncle happen to disappear?
Well, it was about 3 weeks ago. Uncle Hank was working down at the wash all morning. He came up about noon, quite excited about something. He wouldn't tell Aunt Maria or me because he said he wanted to surprise us. Then he left for town. We traced him and found that he had visited Carter, the banker. After that, he was never seen again.
Well, couldn't Carter give you some clue?
No. He said Uncle Hank talked to him about renewing the mortgage on the ranch and that he was going to Elk City. But he never got there. I think his disappearance is part of some scheme.
Well, when we get to town tomorrow, we'll look around and see if we can't find some clue.
Ed, come on in here before you catch your death of cold.
Oh, good morning, Miss Anne.
Good morning, Mr. Emmett. Oh, you've met Mr. Middleton, haven't you?
Yes, Mr. Emmett and I met yesterday under less pleasant circumstances.
I'm mighty sorry about that, Mr. Middleton.
Oh, that's all right. I guess the case did look pretty black against me.
I have quite a large order for you, Mr. Emmett. We've run pretty low on supplies at the ranch.
Well, I'm sorry, Ann, but I won't be able to give you anything. All the ranchers are going to be starved out of this valley unless we can get some provisions in here pretty quick.
What do you mean, unless you can get provisions in here?
These bandits have attacked the train and looted and burned the wagon. I don't know what their plans are, but they seem bent on starving all the people out of this valley.
Oh, can't you get enough men together to prevent it?
We've tried that, but they always seem to know what our plans are in advance. Someone is tipping them off.
I'd like to try and bring your provisions through for you.
I believe you could do it. You see, we haven't any law here in this valley, and there's no one to put in charge in an emergency like this. From what I've heard about you, I think you could help us out. Have you got a plan?
Yes, I have. It'll take plenty of men and wagons.
I'll see that you get the men and the wagons, and every rancher in this valley will give you full support. I'll notify the men, and we'll be ready for you whenever you're ready to take off. We can look for an attack any time now.
And you men keep your eyes open. Wait till I give the signal.
They're heading this way.
All right. Tell the boys to mount up. We'll let them pass and get them from behind.
All right.
It's the same formation they used last time. They won't ever learn anything new. This ought to be easy. Look at him leaving the wagon.
Come out of there with your hands high.
Let's go, man.
It's a trick. Vamoose.
Headed into town.
And I reckon we'll get there, boys. Thanks to Middleton.
Well, Middleton, I reckon this whole valley owes you a vote of thanks.
Yes. I never expected to see you bring this train in, Middleton.
No?
You did a mighty good job, Middleton, but I'm afraid that's only half the battle. Unless these ranchers can get their cattle to market mighty quick, our friend Carter here is going to have to foreclose on practically every ranch in the valley.
Well, I think that under the circumstances that Mr. Carter could grant extensions, as long as the ranchers have good marketable beef on hand.
I wish I could, but I've carried them just as long as I possibly can. Every ranch in this valley is mortgaged to the hilt. Much as I regret it, I'm going to have to foreclose mighty soon. I have to protect my stockholders and depositors.
Say nothing of fattening your own purse.
What do you mean?
Now, Middleton doesn't understand, Mr. Carter. Carter has been very patient with us and helped us through a couple of bad years, so you can't rightfully blame him for wanting to clamp down. Now, the ranchers have asked me to see if we can't get you to help with their cattle drive. We think you may have a couple of more tricks left up your sleeve.
Well, I think there was quite a bit of luck attached to this, but if the ranchers think I can help, I'll be glad to do all I can.
That's all we ask. With your help, I think we can get through all right.
You can round up your cattle in my corral.
Thank you. We'll round up tomorrow.
Come on over to the table, Ed. I want to talk to you.
Be right there.
Listen, this fellow Middleton's been hanging around here asking questions, ain't he?
Yeah, he comes here most every night. He ain't getting nothing out of me.
Oh, I ain't accusing you of nothing. I just wanted to find out if he was coming here regular.
Yeah, he ought to be here in a little while. Say, what are you planning to do?
Just this. The chief figures he's messing up our plans. He got that food in here which will give the ranchers at least another 3 months. And there's no telling what else he's liable to do if we don't run him out of here.
Well, I heard today that he's going to lead out the ranchers' cattle. They're gathering the cattle tomorrow. Say, why don't you lay for him on the trail and bump him off?
No, we can't take no chances like that. He might be a government man. If he was killed, they'd sure make an investigation. Now, what the chief wants us to do is lay for him here in the saloon. And when he comes in, jump him and give him a good working over, so he won't be able to lead him.
I see.
Now, when he comes in, you just talk to him and hold his attention. Then we'll jump him. All right, Ed, you better get over there.
What'll it be, Middleton?
Nothing, thanks.
You looking for anyone?
No, nobody in particular. Just dropped in to see if there was any news for me.
Heard you were going to lead out the rancher's trail herd.
Yes, I am.
Kind of risky business, ain't it?
Well, maybe.
Why, it's Ed. Pour him a drink.
Morning.
Good morning, Carter. I'm glad you came in. I've something important here. This came in the mail this morning.
Looks like I was right about him.
Yes, but he's brought in the provisions, and now he's going to help the ranchers. I can't figure it. I thought I'd speak to you about it before I did anything.
I'm glad you did. Middleton has been very useful to us, but he's probably figuring on selling out these ranches on this cattle drive. You leave this reward notice with me. Don't say anything to anybody about it.
All right.
Here's a letter for you, Burns. Just come in the mail. What's the matter, Burns? Bad news?
Yeah, this letter's from Tex. He and Slim got picked up with the marshal when they tried to clean out the Elk City saloon. And this fella Middleton got thrown in jail along with him after the holdup. They think the marshal turned him loose that night. He's using him as an undercover man to get the goods on us.
Say, that sounds kind of bad, don't it?
Yeah, I better tell the chief about this when he gets back from town. Where's the boss? I just found out something about this Middleton that'll interest him.
Not here, but he sent you this and he wants it back.
Yeah, this fits in with what Tex and Slim said in their letter. Middleton and Allen's the same fellow, all right.
What do you mean?
Just this. The whole thing's probably a frame-up to get the goods on us.
I guess the boss must have suspected something like that, so he sent you this message. You're to bring Middleton up here and find out what his game is, but don't let him lead that herd out. Said we'd never get any place as long as he's helping the ranchers, but we got to work fast.
Yeah, that's right. Here, take this to the boss. Go to the kraal and find Middleton and tell him the boss wants to see him up here. And if that don't bring him, tell him we want to see Allen.
All right.
Now listen, boys. We don't want any slip-ups like we had last night. I want to pump him. Keep him covered and see that he don't get away.
Let's get to work, boys. Here comes the cattle.
Go out, lad. Big boss wants to see you.
Big boss? What do you mean?
Just that, he sent for you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Maybe if I told you he's looking for John Allen, you'd understand.
Oh, that's different. Is this the place?
That's it. He's right in there.
Here he comes now.
Now remember what I told you. How are you, Alan? Now, wait a minute. We made a mistake last night.
Yeah?
Yeah, but things are different now.
What are you driving at? I don't get you.
You mind if I told you we had a nice picture with your name under it? Says something about a reward.
And?
And you've worked out a nice little scheme for yourself, Alan. But you're not going to be able to knock that herd off by yourself. So I figured you might want to cut us in on it. You're going to need help.
I might. What's it worth to you?
Plenty. All you have to do is turn the herd over to us when you get in the pass. We'll handle the rest of it and split 50-50.
How do I know you're on the level?
What makes you think we're not? We didn't have to send for you. We could have pulled this job alone.
Maybe you could.
Is it a deal?
Unless I cut in on the whole layoff.
What do you mean?
I figure a cattle herd's not all you're after. Otherwise, you wouldn't be knocking off supply trains. No, there's something bigger behind this. And bigger men than you are running this show.
Smart guy, aren't you?
Perhaps. I'm throwing in with this outfit, all right. But I'm not making my deal with you. Take me to your boss, and we'll get someplace.
There may be ways of making you deal with me. I could turn you over to the marshal.
Oh, I don't think you do that.
No, I wouldn't. And you're not going to get to him either. Those boys that was mixed up with you in that Elk City holdup happened to get away. They spilt your whole game. Middleton, you're an undercover man.
I wouldn't try any tricks if I were you.
Tie him up and throw him in the back room. That herd will be moving without you. Now we'll head for the pass and wait for the boss.
Hank Mason. John.
Where is Middleton?
I don't know.
Well, I saw him. He was talking with a man that I think belongs to the Martin gang.
Well, don't you think we'd better be on the move? Maybe he sold us out.
I'm sure he hasn't.
Well, I'm not so sure, Ann.
Sorry, Miss Mason, but these men are right. I didn't intend to disclose this information till I'd made sure he'd double-crossed these ranchers. This reward notice came in the mail this morning.
That's right. And I don't think you ranchers ought to tackle this cattle drive.
No, I meant you wrong. The ranchers are facing ruin if they don't. That means the finish of this valley. The only thing they can do now is to start and get a jump on the gang. Middleton didn't intend to leave until tomorrow. So my advice to you men is to get going.
That's right.
Thought you were still alive, Hank.
They held me prisoner for weeks, trying to get me to sign over the ranch to them. They tortured me, but I refused to sign, because I knowed as soon as I did, they'd kill me.
That's right. They're going to raid the trail herd and try and drive the cattle off. But they made one mistake when they left the two of us here together. See if you can get your hands up here. Hank, no, try and undo that knot. Give me. Take a look in there, Hank, and see if there's anybody there.
I can't see a soul.
Hank, you ride and try to stop the herd. I'll go in and get the sheriff.
Okay.
What's up, Middleton?
The Martin gang are planning to wipe out the ranchers at Shotgun Pass. If we get there in time, you can round up the whole gang.
That's great work, son. Tim, round up the boys. Come on.
Why, it's Hank Mason. Martin's gang going to attack. Middleton says to stop the herd.
Well, there ain't nothing we can do now. If we turn back, they'll attack anyhow.
They're about out of the canyon, man. Let's go.
trap, men.
I don't know how you fooled him this long, Carter. I had you pegged from the start. Now, come on. Take care of this, hombre, men.
Got the whole gang, Middleton. Martin, too. But I can't make out what was in back of all this.
Well, Hank Mason here discovered gold on his ranch. There's gold field underlying this whole valley. The Martin gang were trying to drive the ranches out so they could get possession of it.
I don't see how they could hope to take it over after they got rid of the ranches. There must have been somebody else at back of all this.
There was. Hank, who did you tell about the gold before this gang captured you?
I didn't tell nobody but Carter, the banker. But he couldn't have done it.
Where is Carter?
Wait a minute.
Right, Carter.
He holds mortgages on every ranch in the valley. When he heard about the gold, he tried to force the ranchers out so he could get possession of it.
Your game's up, Carter. Come on.
I tell you, it's great to be back home again.
You must be worn out after your experiences, Uncle Hank. Don't you think you ought to go in the house and rest?
Oh, no, I'm all right now. I'll just sit here and talk to you folks for a while.
Hank? Oh, Hank. You come on in here and leave those young people alone. You've got a lot of chores to do. Hurry up now.
I sometimes wish I was all tied up back in that cave again.